Welcome to another Railroads online showcase video, M.I.A. edition. Today we are back at the mines once more, and this is to bring down the hopper train again. It was parked over here at the gold mine, but it really should be down at the iron mine yard. I was considering to maybe skip this and just do it off screen, but in the end we have the new engine shed back there, so I think it's going to be interesting enough to include here. I of course did the way back from the smelter off screen. I had so many problems with the gondolas that I just decided to not record it. I think the way back it went pretty smooth, but honestly this was a while ago. I didn't really play for the past few days, and honestly I think this might be the last video for a while. I still want to show you guys um, everything to do with the oil fields, so making a supply run there, and also then getting the oil cars up to or the oil tankers, I mean, up to the refinery, because that's a really cool and involved kind of process. But at the end, I think right now with how things have been going, I kinda just want to take a break from the game. You have seen it in the past few videos. Every time I run a train, there's very often something going wrong, and it's kind of tiring, to be honest. But yeah, today we are going to take this train, put it back down there. I hope it's going to work out well enough. There is the whole thing with the brake potentially making issues, and we are going to need the brakes quite a lot today, so I hope this is going to work out, but we'll have to see about it. I also did a few things here to test out some stuff, and I can show you guys in a moment while the engines are heating up. I'm only going to be firing up the ones at the very end. I don't really need all of them. It's mostly I need them to brake and slow the train down. Most of the stuff is gonna be done by gravity in this case. But yeah, I changed over the gameplay menu, and I'm gonna show you real quick what I mean here. I went from custom weather to dynamic weather because I heard from somebody who was playing on this setting for quite a while that the weather events don't actually happen. So yeah, I'm going to be trying this out today. I also put down a few telegraph poles over here, just because I wanted to see if the old issues with them were still present. Back in the day, they used to constantly break the lines if you save and then load back into the game, and that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. I'm still actively working on my list of things that I think should be fixed before 1.0, and remembering back in the day how hard it was to work with these and how often they would break after placing them down. Well, I'm happy that this doesn't happen anymore. I would still prefer the team to add a different tool for just placing or for putting down the lines in between the poles instead of just doing everything while the telegraph poles are being placed. But yeah, in the end, this right now seems to be working well enough that I can say that it doesn't really deserve being on the list. But yeah, these things that I placed here, I'm going to be removing them later down the line. This is really just for testing purposes and nothing that should be permanent. If I wanted to do a permanent setup with the telegraph poles, I would definitely try and make that look a bit nicer. But yeah, it seems to be working well enough. There are no broken lines. They don't seem to be going double back on themselves, where you just see a bunch of lines for the same connection. So that's all. It's at least working. But yeah, speaking of the list, I actually added a few other points, especially from the past few videos, like trains sometimes not being consistent with what they can do, the kind of grade that the same train can climb. It just varies from day to day, which is not just odd, but really frustrating for some stuff. Also, the random decoupling with the gondolas and other stuff. Right now the list is at around 30 points, which is quite a lot. I was considering to maybe make an update on that whole thing, make another video about it, but I don't really just want to do that all the time, so what I'm gonna be doing is I'll put the updated list into the description of this video if you guys wanna see it, but I think that's gonna be about it for now. I'll be sure to be coming back to the list once we get another update to the game. At that point, I hope I can actually take a few points off the list and just yeah, make it shorter again. But depending on what that update is, I mean, there's always the chance that it adds more things to it. So we'll have to see about it. But the big point is going to be once we get the 1.0 update and see how the game performs, what it does at that point. I'm really saving all of that up for whenever that comes out. But yeah, at this point, this will likely be the last video for a while for this game for me. Maybe once we get another update or something, I don't know. I don't really plan on just completely covering anything anymore with this game. I'm just gonna see if there's something worth talking about with the new updates once they come out, and that's gonna be it. Okay, time to hit the brakes. Let's hope for the best. Maybe I'll go with brake over here as well. Oh, it seems to be working. I don't want to go above 85% because at that point it's very likely that the engines are just gonna stop immediately and something in the middle of the train is going to break. And I would rather like to avoid that. But yeah, the train is coming to a stop there, so I'm just gonna pull the switches to bring us back down. And that should be it. And yeah, so far nothing really happening with weather events. Clear sky. And I remember back in the day there was actually also, it's still rolling, there was actually also a setting for being able to, oh wait, that's the one that I don't have fired up. Being able to set how long the weather events were going to last and everything, that's not possible anymore. So that's another important option for all of this that has been removed. But I don't think it will be fair to call the weather system being broken if nothing happens right now. But from what I heard from that commenter, they did quite a long time, or they did play quite a long time with that setting on, and it just never seemed to happen, so yeah. It would surely be weird if nothing is going to happen for the entire duration of this video. With how long they usually get, I would expect it to be until the end of the day here. Since I have day-night cycle to 60 minutes now, since that's the longest, and yeah, around 30 minutes should be daytime. So towards the end of the video it might get dark again. Okay, let's see. I should really be going into the F menu here. Because as soon as we hit the grade there, we are going to accelerate and I'll have to make sure to slow it back down. So right now we are pretty constant, but I think the needle started moving up there. So we are slowly getting faster, yep. It's only going to get worse the further we get onto the grade. But yeah, right now the game, it has a lot of things that it should be taken care of. And I heard very good things about what update they have internally right now. Of course, I don't have any access to it, so I'll have to wait and see. But there are also a lot of things beside performance and that kind of stuff that need to be taken care of, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect there. Okay, 85%. Still slightly accelerating. I mean, we should be good here. Pretty constant now, actually. And yeah, getting into the switchback area with the front of the train. So I might actually lose the brake up a little bit. The important thing is that we stop in there and don't hit the back bumper too hard, otherwise the entire train might derail. It just become very fiddly with how the brakes work and everything, and it doesn't seem to be fully fixed. Let's open it up for a little bit. And it's time to stop. You just see how much harder the brake goes once you go above 85%. And one of the cars back there, if you look back, if you didn't notice it the first time around, it actually tried jumping off the track, so that was spicy. Okay, just gonna go back to the other end of the track. By the way, I tried doing the thing that I talked about regarding the track over here, just wrapping it around the back. But since I still want to keep a 60-meter radius for the bend, it didn't really go far enough, and yeah, it ended up being shorter than what it is right now, and it just didn't work out. I could maybe try having the track go around the other side of the shed. That might be an option, but that would be a larger rework that I don't really want to do right now. Another thing that I'm considering to maybe show you guys as well is there's still this one track connection that I'm considering to make from the switchover point between the valleys going down this side with a 1% grade for some of the larger trains that I need to take care of here and there. I might actually include that in another episode, but I think once again it's gonna be a while. And yeah, thanks to the longer switchback over here, we actually had a few more meters to go. But yeah, we should be hitting the grade in a moment, unless I forgot to flip the switch. I hope I didn't. That seems to be going the right direction. And yeah, we are now accelerating again, so gotta pull the brakes a little bit. Okay, let's go to 84%, and if I still need further brakes, I'm gonna be using this engines. Just so that I don't run into any problems, I would rather like to avoid that. I could have maybe also let it roll a bit further onto the grade, because right now, I mean, yeah, we are still getting faster, so that's alright. This grade here, by the way, is still a bit steeper than the one on top. 5% to 6.5, so gotta keep that in mind. I mean, right now with 10 miles per hour, we are not actually flying or anything, but yeah, it could escalate pretty quickly. And yeah, that's one of the cars just saying goodbye. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can rescue the situation. This is a hard break, and yeah, not. That's not good. That's really not good. You are supposed to break from the back in order to keep everything under tension instead of compression, but why is it even rolling at this point? We have... Okay, we don't have a brakes pulled here anymore, but this one to 81%. Yeah. So yeah, that was a bit of a fail. And once again, these are kind of the reasons why I don't enjoy the game too much anymore right now, because it just constantly these issues. So hey, let's go back, let's try it again, see if it works better this time. So yeah, this save. I'm sorry guys, I don't know what really to do. I could call it at this point, I could just try to re-rail everything on screen, but that's gonna be just tedious with 18 cars and the majority of them being derailed. So this should be a really quick operation. Unless it goes too quick as far as it just did there. Maybe I'm just gonna try it from the front now. Can't really go much worse than what it did there. And yeah, we are back on the other menu because I didn't save after this, after setting this up. And yeah, maybe I just want to get a bit earlier in the day, since it's not really that long. And yeah, just went right past it. Okay, set the switch. Let the engine cook up a bit. Loosen the brakes here, and let's just get going. I was actually considering to maybe restart the recording at this point, because, well, the thing that I wanted to show you guys kind of failed, but yeah, this is sadly very true to the playing experience in this game right now, so yeah. I think there is a point in showing this as well. I'll just pull the brakes a bit earlier this time around. Don't need to run past the switch that much. And yeah, after this video I'll likely just get rid of all the telegraph poles here. There would be a way to make this look nice and everything, but well, I don't think I wanna put the time in right now. I'm just gonna remove them all, and that's gonna be it for all of that. Oh, this was not a good idea. But it actually worked out this time. Guess we were going slow enough. I would also really like to go back to doing the operations in first person. That's something that I was really happy with once I got used to it, but, well, I think one of the reasons I stopped is that we now have the reintroduction of the whole cutoff sim thing that happened at the end of last year or beginning of this one. I don't really remember. But yeah, now I need the speed meter in order to really tell how fast I'm going and if I could get a bit more out of it. And also, of course, for the videos, it's a bit easier to see. Besides that, there's the constant issues of in first person, the stuff doesn't always do the right thing if you look at it. I think with this engine it might be better than some others, but yeah, there are a few that have you look at the regulator, the reverser, brake, whatever, and the thing that it's actually trying to let you grab at that moment, it's something completely different. And that's especially unfun if things get a bit stressful. If you really need to hit the brake, but you're just flipping the reverser or actually opening the regulator again. Also, it's a constant issue and pain with the couplers. I should maybe just switch over to automatic couplers, because at that point it doesn't really matter, you just look at one of them, open them up, and that's about it. But not really how I like to operate the whole thing. Okay, this was maybe a bit too soon to open the brakes again. Ideally, I would really like to have the couplers as an upgrade option. Both for getting them when you purchase the cars and engines, but also later down the line take it to a workshop and refit it. But in this game it's just a menu option, which is so cheap. Okay, we should be fully on the switchback now, so let's hit the brakes. And just, I mean, look at this, we are at 78% and we are barely slowing down. And if I go to something like 87, I mean, okay, we were already pretty much stopping at that point, but it just hits so much harder. Okay, let's go to the other side of the train now. Flip the switch over here. And then let's go down to the bottom. I would also really like some options for bridges without a deck, or at least without the track, I mean. There's a difference between them. Just so that I can have a better support system for the switches. Some of them just need to be on bridges and it just doesn't look right with what I can do here. I can kinda make it work, at least to some degree. But I think there should be a few better options here. After all, the game is a lot about the optics in this at this point. Just trying to build something nice looking. Which often enough, it's going quite well. I would say I did a decent job around this area in particular. But some of these smaller things, I always dread having to place down something like this over here for the switches. Because it's not really the options that I want to use, but the ones that I have at my disposal. Okay, 75% brake power. Still not fully on the grade, so we are slowing down a bit, but this might be working out for me. Just gotta keep it from getting too fast to begin with, and I think then we should be good. In older updates I would just pull the brake on one of the engines to the maximum and that would be it. But But having to fear the last 15%, it's it's turning everything here into a kind of different beast. But I'm just gonna keep it like this. We are going to be coasting down, and that should be alright. So I'm not really using the same method as the last time where I went to another engine and utilized its brakes as well, but this has definitely worked out quite a bit better. So let's now lower the brake pressure a bit. After all, we still need to get past the switch here with the entire train. And the switchback track is going quite fast, so we don't really have any trouble here. Okay, that's the indicator over there. That's the last few cars and the other engines. So we should be clear now. Yeah, that's 3% making all the difference here. 84, yeah, slowly braking, alright, and I press up to 87, and the entire thing just comes to what would be a screeching halt. Oh yeah, I should maybe also open the brake again. I don't need to be braking from this side, I'll just be pulling it into the yard from the other end. But hey, we made it further than last time, that's already a good thing in my book. Switch up ahead is going to the left, that's okay. So let's move forward. Forward from this direction. Bit confusing when your train is basically symmetrical and you can go either direction. But yeah, we are pulling into the yard now. So what needs to happen now, and that's the part of the more interesting part that we are hopefully not going to repeat. I should be putting down a save now, but I don't really want to. We are going to get towards the switch here, and I think I should be hitting the brakes again, because we need to actually stop the train. Pull these engines ahead, put them into the engine shed, and then the rest of the cars, they all need to go onto this siding here. And I might as well go to the engine shed real quick and just open up the doors. And here everything has come to a stop, so let's go in, let's deliver the engines to the shed, and then we should be going for the rest of the train. If I didn't have the whole mishap happening, I would have maybe also taken the other two engines to bring up the stake cars to the top again, but I think I'm gonna do that off screen. Then bring the stake car train back to the main yard. Eventually I am thinking of just getting another supply run done over here. After all, I should really be trying out if the 4 climaxes here can actually really bring the 18 fully loaded hoppers up to the top. I haven't done that yet. We were running with reduced capacity the last time. Only, what was it, 2/3 of the train being full. So that's gonna be a significant difference, but according to the math, it should be mathing out. But that's the thing with this game. You don't really know. Maybe the calculation is according to something that should be happening on a good day, and we might just not have a good day all the time. So it's really unreliable, and that makes the entire thing such a headache to deal with. If you set out to do something and you just don't know if it's going to be working. I still have my old save file where I pulled all the stake casts ahead and was just about to hit the grade with them. And I recently went back to that save file and it actually worked out. So yeah, on some days it's just gonna be going well, on others not too much. Okay, I did go to the right switch to flip it. I wasn't sure about that for a moment. So better double checking before just pushing the entire train into the engine shed. I think that would be quite disastrous. But yeah, I'll be taking care of the staycast before leaving the save file alone for a while. Just so that everything is kinda reset and ready to go for the next stuff and I'm not somewhere mid-operation in a few things. I still also have to build a few more engine sheds and that kind of thing, but that's also gonna have to wait. Sorry, hay fever. But yeah, I'm hoping that we get the whole promised update with the current internal version, which is supposedly to being so much better than what we have right now. I hope we get that sooner than later, but I'll be waiting for it. And yeah, I'm just going to let it run into the bumper because at that point it should be alright, which it just did. Without any visual devastation here, so this seems to be going okay. Just gonna flip the switch over and yeah, I might as well bring one of the engines down from above and pick up the staycast that way. It doesn't really matter because, well, if I take the engines from down below here, I'm gonna be bringing the staycast up and bringing the engines down again. If I take one engine from above and one should be enough, then I need to bring it back up again anyways, and yeah, it's just gonna be back and forth no matter where I start from. And that's the switch. I couldn't see it for a moment and I was a bit confused. Just using the engine brake here. But yeah, as I said, I think in the last episode or a few episodes before that, I don't really remember anymore. This entire operation, putting everything into the engine sheds, it's working out pretty well. I'm so happy about it. So yeah, that's all going pretty well as it should, and yeah, with that I don't think I have much else to say. Yeah, pretty much done here for the time being. I don't really want to hit the back wall of the shed, and I think I managed to avoid that. Don't know how far they would really be going in here or if there's an invisible thing stopping them. But yeah, that's it for the engines for the time being. so rest well. You may be getting used again later down the line. But for right now, we close the door on the engine shed and the book on the operations over here. So yeah, what can I say? I still think this is one of the more fun operations if everything works out, but yeah, a few things have to be going well in order for this to be fun. And if you're just constantly having issues like I had in the recent times, I mean, I hope you understand that I'm just gonna be taking a break away from the game and be coming back at a later date. I think we still have a few things to finish up on with the playthrough, and I likely won't be going to the whole wheat farm, cattle farm, meatpacking plant kind of thing. I don't really have any interest in that. So, yeah, we're gonna have to see how this is going to continue, when it's going to continue, but for the time being, I was happy that I could at least show you guys how this is supposed to be working. And yeah, until next time or with another series, who knows. Thanks for watching and see you then. Have a good one and bye bye.